I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Hello, everybody! Guess who's here? That's right. Welcome to the Locke and Key after show for episode 10, Crown of Shadows. My name is Lauren Kling. Thank you, as always. I am joined by the biggest fantasy lover, Bryant, over there.
Hello.
I know I'm going out of order. And then we have next to Bryant, we have our new host for this last episode, Laysla de Oliveira. Welcome to the show. That is Dodge. And then right next to me,
hi everyone.
We've got our Darby Stanfield superfan, Janice. Welcome.
We made it to the end, guys, and our minds are blown.
Yes. We made it to the end, and OMG. And there's nothing like watching the last 10 minutes. And then one of the actors comes in, and you're like, "Wait, I just saw you on the screen. What are you doing
I know,
sitting
right?
there?"
It was
I feel like I came for the best part. I love watching your guys' reactions.
Yeah, and so that's what's been fun about this show is, although it's a binge show, that we've wanted to wait to watch it in real time, so we had kind of this excitement to talk about.
Yes.
So thank you for being here. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down the episode. Feel free to join in, and then we'll do a little Q&A. Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk about, Nina. Nina, and we know that Bryant loves Nina. So Nina is having coffee through the whole, might as well been the whole series,
yes.
right? It was pretty much.
She's been through a lot. And, you know, she's relaxing a little.
I love that. I honestly want to give her credit, but I can't deal with the terrible parenting. Literally, kids are in imminent danger, and you're out on a date, girl. Please, I'm calling CPS. They've already been called. I'm emailed them, called them, and texted them from my personal phone number.
Oh my God. Bodhi needs a babysitter at least, like, because everyone is always out and he's just at home alone, and we don't know what could happen, and we know there's like demons roaming around. She knows there are demons roaming around, and she's still like, oh yeah, I'm gonna leave my kids at home.
See, when I grew up,
well, she doesn't really.
Yeah.
She doesn't.
No, because adults can't retain
the memory,
Magic.
yeah,
Oh.
which is one of the things I'm wondering about, if there's any info on a second season. We'll talk about that, but I'm wondering why it is that adults can't know. It sounds kind of Hook, kind of like.
But Ellie does remember, which is something we really questioning.
Well,
like,
in the graphic novel, actually, Nina is drunk the entire time. And so that's why Bodhi is, left the way he is. But for the purpose of the show, I don't think they wanted to do that. And so there's that interesting episode there when she does get drunk is when she starts to retain. So I'm interested to see if we get a season 2, what they do.
That was amazing. Now, when I was a kid, my families, we just would go and explore everywhere. Did this not happen with the three of you? Did you get to explore on your own, or? I
loved playing outside as a kid.
Yeah.
I loved being out with my friends, exploring, climbing trees. That was like my favorite thing, like harvesting fruits from the earth. I grew up in Cameroon, and there's nature everywhere, and here it's different. Like, you don't know who your neighbors are. Like, it's completely different. But in Locke and Key, like, the kids have friends, but we don't really get to see their connection until the end, which is nice. But like, I wish they had started like building those bonds like earlier on in the season.
Yeah. How about you, Brian? Did you get to roam around free when you were growing up?
No, I don't think so. I think that's why it's just so like mind blowing to me, because my mom was like there like all the time. So yeah, and I think that's why it's just different for me. I didn't even play outside too. Like, I literally was just like inside, like watching me do the dishes. Like.
All right. How about you, Laysla?
I grew up in Toronto, and I didn't get to play outside a lot, and my mom wanted me to have that experience. So she actually sent me to live with my dad in Brazil for about 2 years, and I did climb trees and play in the I lived in a really small town, and I remember climbing my first tree.
What kind of tree was it? Do you remember?
No, but I just remember being up there, and then the down part, I couldn't do it. And I was like, oh, my dad. So it was pretty funny. It was one of my favorite Brazilian memories.
I love that.
That's awesome. All right. So we know that Nina's at the end she wants to take everyone back to Seattle, but she didn't even ask anybody. She said, we're just going to go back where it's healthier.
It was very confusing because it seemed like she had a really good date with the detective. So I was like, you had this date, or was it not a date? Like, can you guys chime in on that? I'm just so confused by Nina.
I thought it seemed like a date too. Like it was.
And she was like all smiles too. I was like, so
she was
now
definitely flirting with him, and I just couldn't deal with the fact that she was out on a date and they were literally fighting a demon, several demons, and yeah.
That's Nina for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I badge in and talk about our giveaway?
Yes,
Ooh.
please. We have a giveaway to the fans out there.
We have a special giveaway for you guys who are in the chat. So just stick around. When you hear our special segment, Creaking Door Sound, the first 3 people to comment Dodge are going to get to win these amazing keys. Spoiler alert, they're not keys. They're not like the actual keys from the show.
From the set, no.
I think some of you guys think it's like the actual keys from the set, but it's not. But it's really close. So just stick around and
So when they hear that sound,
when you hear the creaking door sound during this special segment, the first 3 people to comment Dodge are going to win 3 keys and also an autograph from our special guest, Laysla.
Thank you.
Sign for you guys.
A little
Thank
keepsake
you.
for you guys.
All right, so let's talk about more absent parents. Ellie, where was Ellie the whole episode? 2 episodes, we were wondering where she was, and we saw what happened. What a twist! Did either of you expect that?
I did not see that coming at all. I did ask, like, where is she? Everything is going on. Her son is like almost dead. Where is she? But now that I know what happened to her, I kind of wonder if she does deserve what happened to her because she was so secretive in the beginning. She basically knew that these keys were dangerous and she didn't even tell Nina or the kids, like, hey, you guys should watch out. Like, there are some keys in this house that you might find and all of this. And she just like kept so much hidden and she knew about Joe's death and she just kept quiet. And
I think she's trying to protect everyone. I'm very biased. I'm team everyone on the show. I love it. I was like, well, they did this because...
Right. Well, she was trying to
But it
protect
didn't end well
Rufus.
for her.
Yeah. She was trying to protect her family, which was Rufus,
Yeah.
but at the risk of everybody else in town. Is that the right thing to do?
Well,
Exactly.
she had very bad experiences with the keys because they were the original keepers of the keys.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
2 people
Right.
passed, and so I think she felt that was the best choice.
Yeah.
But hey, it really worked out for Dodge, so I'm
Right.
okay.
Right.
Yes.
I'm okay with everything.
That's all you care about,
Right.
myself.
Now that look that you had when they throw your character into the cave reminded me of Die Hard. That scene at the end when he's falling down.
Thank you.
I was like, it was a pretty incredible kind of look.
Yeah.
The first time we ever saw you scared, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite scenes to shoot. I did wire work, so I was basically strapped to the ceiling, and they would pull me back, and with a bunch of wind in my face. And I just wanted to channel somebody who is, very scared and is about to lose their kid and maybe potentially never come back. And Ellie had seen that door before, so she kind of knows what it is. I don't know if she knows what's behind there. So yeah, I just tried to channel that the best I could, but it was really fun.
Yeah.
It was interesting with that scene. I didn't think about it until now, but like you said, you were channeling like that really like epic fear because Dodge, the real Dodge,
Doesn't
wouldn't have
have
had
that.
that fear. Yeah, it would have just been really blank, like, okay, there we go, I'm going back into the hole.
And some people caught that right away. I think when they saw that scene, they were like, wait, that's not
Yes.
Dodge. Dodge wouldn't be scared or
Exactly.
do that.
I
which
wasn't
thought
that
was very
smart.
interesting.
Yeah, me too. I was literally like,
Because
oh, she's
I was
scared.
like, why is she crying? She's going home to her family. Like, you're going to
Exactly.
go see
Dodge
your
would have
old
been like,
alien family. Like, you should be happy.
Yeah, but we don't really know what's in there. We know
We
that
don't.
Dodge gets tossed, but we don't know what's behind there.
we know there's demons, but not
Yes.
exactly what goes on
Exactly.
back there.
And
Yes.
I
So-
think we were confused about if echoes can't be killed because they're already dead. Is that the rule?
I think that's the rule, yes.
Yeah, so that's why they had to throw who they thought was Dodge back in because they couldn't be killed. Yeah.
They can
She's
only be
not a
trapped.
human, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was doing a little research and I found out that Laysla was in a movie called In the Tall Grass for Netflix, and in that movie there's a demon character also named Dodge. Is that
There
something
is?
that's I literally read it like 2 hours ago.
I
Yeah.
don't think there is. I'm trying
There's
to...
not?
No.
Is there
I
tall
guess-
grass in the... Yeah, there's
Yeah,
tall
like
grass.
we
tall
get
grass
lost in
and-
tall grass.
Yeah.
There's a rock. There's there's no Dodge.
I just have misinformation from the
No,
internet.
no, it's
Don't
okay,
trust
but
the
there
internet,
was-
guys.
But there was some scary stuff
Yeah.
that happened in there, and
Oh, yeah, here's a picture of you.
yeah.
That was a freaky...
That's a completely
Yeah.
different. I'm very scared the entire time.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
And very pregnant, and that was actual like 10 feet tall
Oh, wow.
grass that was
Where did you
serrated.
guys shoot that?
Just outside of Toronto in Stratford, and the same director, Vincenzo Natali, who did the finale
Oh.
of Locke and Key.
Right.
So it was a great reunion when we saw each other.
Nice.
And this was also based on a novella by Joe Hill and Stephen King.
Yes.
So did one of them have a part in you getting the role for the other?
It was actually a complete coincidence. I was finished shooting this, and I came back here to LA, and I was told I had an audition for this show that was based on Joe Hill's graphic novel, and I was like, oh great, well, Joe Hill, and they're like, don't get your hopes up. And I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, and then I ended up doing it, but it was a total coincidence. And of course, when I think he does see the audition tapes and stuff, he was like, oh yeah, this girl.
Yes.
That's sometimes how, when you're an actor, you get to be on other shows. Somebody sees you and they're like, we already know they can play that character, or that's what we're looking for.
People like to keep it in the family in Hollywood.
I did an audiobook for him too. That wasn't a coincidence. That was really fun.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Okay.
Called Full Throttle. And
Nice.
the story I did was called Thumbprint.
Okay.
It's really cool.
And he was also in the episode, right?
Yes,
During the-
Right, and
he's
that's
such a
right.
good actor.
I know, that was fun. Okay, so it's funny you bring up Full Throttle, because one of the things I love about this show is it reminds me of a PC game from the 90s called Myst and Riven. And Full Throttle was another 90s video game.
Wow.
So
Oh, I didn't know
you're
that.
freaking me out here because I love time travel. And isn't this, you were in a guest of honor that had to do with different time periods?
Yeah, so that's actually a film that's coming out this year. It was in competition at the Venice Festival.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a drama, and I go through different periods of time in my life, or in Veronica's life.
Got it.
cool.
Was it a different character for you than ones you've played in the past?
All three of them have been completely. Every single character has been completely different, which I feel very honored.
Wow.
Love
and
that.
is it
Best of
true?
honored.
I heard. Is it true that you create a music playlist
Yeah.
for your different
I
characters?
love it. Yeah, I'm really
really?
inspired by music. So I'm not that kind of actor. If I have to cry or something like in this, I had to be very emotional and in the tall grass. So I have to kind of start getting in the mood in the beginning of the day. So whether that be a happy playlist or a sad playlist, music is a huge part of my process. I try to leave my headphones in until they're ready. They call action, and just so I can stay in the zone. It was actually really funny for Locke and Key, because a lot of the times with Jackson's a superstar. He can just turn it on and do his thing whenever. And I try to get in the zone. He'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, I'm getting into Dodge. He's like, ugh. I was like, I have to work.
Wait,
But
that's who's with the character? Who's Jackson?
Jackson is Bodhi.
Oh, Bodhi.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Because I was going to say Lucas reminds me of like a 90s. Believe he's like a 90s metal Nirvana fan with the hair and the
Yeah,
white
he's a cool
shirt.
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The attitude.
Yeah, he's super cool.
I watch Beavis and Butthead, and I'm a jerk. All right.
Speaking
He's
of
not a
attitude,
jerk.
I'm going to jump in on the chat real quick because we
Yes.
have some questions for you.
Let's do it.
So, Ivan, thank you for being here with us again. So, a really fun question, just because we talked about it. Ivan wants to know if you like being a bad character, like an evil character, or like a good character.
I like to work, but it was really fun being bad. That was my first time, and I really enjoyed it. So I hope I got to do it again.
Yeah.
And you did an incredible job.
Yes.
Thank you. I was
Yes.
telling you guys
Really
earlier.
did.
When I told my friends I got this part, or anybody I knew, they'd be like, "You're playing a bad person." So I'm
She's so
glad.
sweet in real life,
I'm
guys.
glad it
She's
was
not
believable.
evil.
So
Love that.
What, and I had said early on that your character seemed so emboldened, knew what he wanted. There wasn't any long discussion or Oscar-winning
yes.
speech. It was just, this is what I
She
want.
gets shit
Quick.
done.
Yeah.
Like
I
that.
love that, and
loved
unapologetic, which is so amazing to play.
Yes, like just killing kids in subways, like.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
that,
another day.
That
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
ask, did you do any research for inspiration on how to play Dodge? Because there's not that many female bad guys
That's the
per
thing,
se.
and it was actually quite hard for me because I was like, first of all, I was really excited that they decided to make Dodge female because in the graphic novel it is Lucas.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's female for a very short period of time, and then I was like trying to research female bad guys, and
Yeah.
there are so few of them and so few sci-fi ones.
Exactly,
Because there is
yes.
that element of like she's still a demon, so I'm not just being a bad person. It's very in the eyes. So I mean, Maleficent is great.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was
so
scared of her.
yeah, I watched that, and then I just try to, like a Catwoman or anything. Not that Catwoman's bad, but but that's the reason why I just had to watch anything that was out there, because we don't have enough female bad guys. I think we need more of them.
We do, and we talked about this too when it was revealed that Lucas was back. I was like, oh no, I really wanted to be a female the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Well, and you get to use your like sort of women or woman powers,
Yes.
which is like really fun to do.
yes, I can imagine.
But it's
so.
amazing because you've added to that, canon of female bad guys now.
Yeah.
People can reference you. People who are coming after you can
That's
do
so
that.
sweet.
So
That's why
really
when I
cool.
read the part, I was like, oh, I must
Yes.
book this job. Yeah.
Very cool. All
Yay.
right, before we move on to the next topic, Janice, do you want to say hello to our fans?
Yes, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching our show and sticking around with us. Thank you for making us the ESPN of TV Talk. Can you guys give us a like as you're watching, leave a comment, follow us on Instagram at AfterBuzz TV on all social media platforms. And also, we go live on each and every one of our mini shows. I am on the Briar Patch after show, and we're going live after this on Katie Keene. So you guys should also come hang out with me and Brian if you guys, want to keep this rolling. And also, we also have podcasts, so you guys can also listen to this in your car, on your drives, and leave a review for us. It definitely helps us, improve. And also, let us know what you want to see moving forward for season 2. Let us know what you want to see more of on our show. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching.
Yay.
Thank you. All right, on to our next topic. This one, we just want to dish. All right, Kinzie and the double date. Did that strike you when Kinzie was like, I like Gabe, I like Scott, and I want to date both of you at the same
I
time?
kind of love
Purple.
that.
Really?
You know what? I think there's a lot of like women being powerful on this show and
yes.
getting what they want and asking for what they want, and it wasn't Scott's with one T's
Yeah.
thing, but at least she asked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm
She
all
knows
about
how
it
to pick
too.
him, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was all about it, and I think it was just more the way she did it. Like,
Yeah.
because of course she has no fear. So literally they were just like, oh, we both want to date you. And she was like, how about both of you? And I was just like,
But
so out
don't
of left
guys do
field.
that all the time?
True,
And
I
they
do
don't
agree.
even ask.
They're very true.
At
yeah.
least she asked.
Yeah, she has the courtesy to.
Yeah.
Very
Let
true.
them
I
know.
love that.
So it was interesting, though, once she got rid of her fear, I call Goth Kinzie. When she got rid of Goth Kinzie, how strong she was, and kind of just made how that kind of set her
We're
on her
talking about
path.
how she was very angsty in the beginning, and we did not like her. But when
Oh.
she took out her fear, she just became more watchable and just much more of a rounded person. And I was like, okay, now I can, hang with you.
Yeah, it became a thing where everyone had their different levels of angst
Yes.
and
Yeah.
how much,
CPS needed to be called.
Oh, boy.
There's a teen, drama aspect of it.
Yes.
There you go. I love me a high school
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
80s, 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Degrassi, hi. Was that?
I actually didn't watch Degrassi that much, which is I'm not a real Torontonian,
No.
I guess.
Not at all.
What did you watch? What were your
Like Lizzie McGuire.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Are you excited for the reboot coming up?
Yes, so excited. Yeah, my parents didn't let me watch that much TV, so I have so many movies I need to catch up on. Also, like they made me they put me in dance and stuff. They didn't want me to watch too much TV, so I watched novellas. Because my mom watched them, so I was allowed to do
Yes.
that. And Lizzie McGuire is what I can think of right now. Maybe Avril Lavigne shows. I don't know. So random, but yeah.
That is random. All right. So, okay. So let's talk before we should hold off on the special segment, right? Do we want to give
can do it
away?
at the end.
Well,
Yeah.
all right. We'll wait a little bit. So, no news, but we do want to talk a little bit about your career and your life. So
Exciting.
you grew up
Yes.
in Toronto. One of your roles was in Guest of Honor. That's coming out soon. That's your latest one. But your first one was on a USA Network show. Is that your first TV
It
appearance?
was Covert Affairs. And so I was in theater school. It was supposed to be 4 years. And I really wanted to start working, and they wouldn't let you kind of audition, and because, 20 people get in, it's a whole thing. And so I got a job over the summer, and that job fell through, and they maybe were still going to put me on the show. And so I kind of had to leave school, which I was really nervous to do. And I did. And the same week that school would have started, I think that episode shot in Amsterdam. So I was flown to Amsterdam to do Covert Affairs, which was really cool. I didn't have any lines I don't think, but it was nice. It was like a good thing for
You're around
universe.
real actors.
Yeah, it was good. And I got some couple gigs, and then I didn't work for a hot minute, and then I did again, which was amazing.
That's funny. So you went to Rosedale Heights School of the Arts
For the last 2 years.
for the last
Yeah.
2 years, and then you were in. I'm assuming we're gonna bring up a picture of
my
you.
gosh.
That I found. I always love these parts. Let's see if we can find the one of you. I'm gonna show.
like,
I'm gonna hold it up here. Yes.
How did you find
Yes.
that?
Hold on. We're bringing it up. So,
That was
So
actually
stylish.
at Ryerson.
yeah.
And that was, what play was that? I don't remember. It was a Shakespeare
Yeah.
play.
I guess that. Okay.
I was playing a man.
Interesting.
Where did you find this? Facebook? I'm not on Facebook.
MySpace? No, I don't know. No.
I was like, is that even active?
I don't know. Was it? I don't know.
If you're
Yeah.
Was it
listening to
Hamlet? It
podcasts,
was Hamlet.
Laysla is like in
Hamlet,
shock
maybe?
right now.
Maybe it was Hamlet.
All
yeah.
right.
Wow. Why don't I
Yeah.
remember? I was like, I
That's
don't need
okay.
to think about that. That's
love,
over there.
I love finding little
Wow,
golden
I'm
nuggets.
so impressed.
Thank you.
That's my friend Isaac, who I went to
Thank
school
you.
with. He's amazing.
Oh, that's
and our
awesome.
friend Mina, who's a Latin, actually, he was in the same class of us. So there
Oh,
might be a
wow.
picture. He was in this play too.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So we were all in this thing together.
Oh, that's
world.
amazing.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, hold on. I've got my notes right here. I want to make sure. So you were working at a restaurant, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You were working at a restaurant, and your manager
Mm-hmm.
put you on a short film.
No, his wife.
Oh, his-
no,
okay.
his long-term girlfriend at the time was my manager, and he would come and write scripts and stuff, and he put me in a short of his, and we really hit it off. And then he put me on a film called Acquainted. That's amazing.
Okay.
And hopefully coming out soon in the States. But yeah, it's such a small world, and my boyfriend Jonathan actually produced the film as well.
I was going to say, how was the producer? What did you think of the producer?
Well, he really listened to me, so it was great. No, it was such a wonderful experience, and Giacomo Gignotti, who is in Grey's Anatomy, is in the film as well. We have Adelaide Kane, who's on Rain.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, just
And Jonathan was
Rachel.
on. Yeah. Rain as well.
Yeah, and Jonathan.
That's
as well.
awesome.
Yeah, it was great. It's kind of like a mini Rain reunion for them. Yeah, but Acquainted is such a lovely film. And it holds a very dear place in my heart, so I hope you guys get to see it.
Yes.
All
We'd
right.
love to check it out.
We'll check it out. All right. Is it true that your mom would host dinner parties
Oh.
and that you would charge guests $2 for dinner and a show?
Yes, that was the beginning of my career.
So cute.
And check.
I would lip sync to Britney Spears. So I grew up, it was just me and my mom, and we lived above a restaurant, and I've never been a morning person. So there was these stairs to get up, so I would really stay at the door and wouldn't let anybody up. But she would wake me up. The only way I would wake up is to Britney Spears. So
What's
she would
up?
blast it, "Oops, I Did It Again." and I would
Wait,
be like,
how does that go?
I'd be like, yeah. That's how I would like to wake up.
I love it.
And so then I took on to lip singing, and I would have costume changes, and somebody would be in charge of lighting. I wish there weren't camera iPhones back then, or else I would be like
Right.
a YouTube star.
Was that in Toronto or Brazil?
Yeah, I was in Toronto. In Brazil, my dad would have been like, "Get your act together."
All right. So I want to find out if these are still things you love today. This is
Okay.
the segment we call Do You Still Love These? Britney Spears,
Yes.
True Blood,
Oh, True Blood's good. Yeah.
Carrot Cake.
Yeah, but it has to be gluten free, unfortunately. Yeah.
I'm vegan, so yeah.
Yeah.
Carrot Cake problems. Peach Rings.
Not so much anymore.
okay.
But I used to. How did you find that out?
Wait, hold on. I got a few more.
He's got a lot. down his
Heated bread, hummus, and 3 olives at 1:30 in the morning. You still like that?
You are freaking me out. Love olives. Bread can't do so much.
Yeah.
Did you say hummus? Hummus is
Hummus.
amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
who doesn't like hummus?
Lauren was a PI in another life.
You were.
I was Detective Daniel. I was having coffee all.
I hope we work
Yes.
together one day and you can bring me pitas. And
You want
hummus and-
pitas? Okay.
Pitas and hummus.
All
and
right, there's a
olives.
place called Amir's here in LA that's really good. All right.
Okay.
Any other questions? I mean, I have so many more,
I have a
but
little. I have
Yes.
something.
Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at your IMDb page, and I noticed there's a pattern in the genre that you usually pick to work in, which is horror. I just wanted to know what drives you to do more horror stuff than, you know, something like a comedy? Or
I mean,
is that something you want to do?
like, I think it's so great that people think I'm picking this, but I still consider myself very new, and so these are the opportunities I got. There are a lot of pilots that I did that actually weren't picked up, so you guys didn't get to see those, and in those there were, you know, comedies. I did a really fun comedy with Jalen Rose where I played his, like, basketball wife for, I think it was ABC, and that was fun. So these are just things you didn't get to see. You're just seeing the things that are very big and out there.
Yeah.
Sure.
But no, and Guest of Honor is a drama and Acquainted is a drama. It's just the two that you've seen are horrors, which I don't mind. I actually don't even watch scary stuff.
Me too.
really?
I can't
Which
do
is
it.
no, I can't handle it. I can't handle it at all.
We
So
talked
is-
about that too. Like,
Yeah.
I can't do horror. So like when I was booked on this show, I was like, oh my god, I thought it was like a fantasy thriller. Because when I saw the
Did you think it
preview,
was scary?
when I saw the preview,
Yeah.
that was like hinting at like the shadows and stuff. I was like, oh my god, I
Yeah.
might have to send an email and say I'm so sorry.
I get really scared, although after working in the tall grass and this, I'm starting to, like, when I see trailers, I'm like, oh, I'd love to see that, because now I know how it kind of works.
Sure.
And I'm so interested by the choices they make, because I think the way we learn and the way we get better is by watching others. So, yeah.
Yeah, I worked on two horror movies, really low budget, and there was a hotel that had been around since the 1800s here in LA, and lights wouldn't work, and they'd be like, Lauren, you go carry the camera down the stairs. We'll meet you down there. Good luck. And it freaked me the blank out.
I am the
anything
complete opposite.
spirits and ghosts, I get
Same.
so scared.
Yes.
I get so scared. You know, like
Poltergeist, have you ever seen?
I can.
Oh, that
with spirits,
movie.
It really makes me uneasy. Like when Jonathan is on a work trip, I'm looking over there because he's there. But I have a nightlight on. Like I just,
Yeah.
or when my dog barks at something that isn't there, I'm like, somebody save me.
Amazing.
You know?
I know.
Yeah, I was complaining that there wasn't enough horror in this show
Yeah.
because I love that. I love being scared.
Yeah, but I think it's good though, because then it becomes a family show, and
sure.
everybody, there's a little bit for someone, because if it was too scary, then you wouldn't.
I wouldn't watch it.
It's gonna exclude a lot of
Yeah.
Yes. Well, speaking of TV, I just have a quick question. Of course, we're here on AfterBuzz. So, what are your TV obsessions right now? What are you watching?
Ooh, okay. So I just saw his Dark Materials, which I thought was really good.
HBO.
Yeah.
Mm.
The villain on that's amazing. She's amazing. I love Handmaid's Tale. It's actually one of my favorite shows.
I wanted to watch
and
that.
we
That's really
shot
good.
right beside. So I didn't know that we were in the same studio as Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, wow.
And on my first day, I went to a fitting and I went to the restroom and I left. I opened the stall and like a handmaid came out.
Oh no.
I was like, what is happening here? So that was really
Terrifying.
cool. I like The Good Place for comedy.
It just ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
sad.
know, but it was brilliant. I like when shows have an ending,
Yeah.
you know, versus going on forever.
Sure.
I like Grownish. I
I
actually
love
really love
Grownish.
Grownish.
It's really good.
What other ones? Sex Education. is
I just
so
started that. It's really good.
Is that
It's
HBO?
one of my, no, it's
Netflix.
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Okay.
It's one of my faves on Netflix.
So
actually.
funny. Like I find
Other
myself
than
like
Locke and
hollering,
Key.
like literally, like I'm
Yeah.
laughing. I'm like, ah!
It's so good. Oh my gosh. I know Netflix.
Do you
has
get
a-
lost in the shows you watch, or are you always in your mind thinking about the
Not if
techniques?
they're really good, like Sex Education, Stranger Things, and the ones that I could get really lost in are amazing. But of course, as an actor, you're always like, huh, I wonder how they
Yes.
did that. Cool. Yeah, there's some really good stuff out there.
There's
sure.
a lot of really good stuff.
There's a lot of TV.
So, any info on second season? Do you know anything and you can't tell us, or you?
I actually don't know
We wanna
anything.
know.
I would love to know.
Yeah, because
Do you have info on
well-
second season?
Well, yeah, that's funny. I have a picture.
I feel like you would know.
Right? Well, Meredith, you're out there. We would love you to
Yeah.
come on. No, well, we know that they're already writing, right? I think
Yeah,
you,
season
you-
2.
I
They're
visited them.
working on. So my dream is, of course, at Comic-Con, which I go to every year in San Diego, that if I know that you're going to be down there and be like, I know exactly why you are all down there. So I would love it if there was a big reveal at Comic-Con in June
Yeah.
for a second season, and you could come down in San
I've never
Diego.
been to Comic-Con. That would be
so
so
fun.
cool.
It's insane.
I would love to do
It
something
is
like
insane. All right, Meredith. I don't know if I can say that. That's
Yeah.
by the way, that's the showrunner and the writer.
My
Meredith
boss,
Averill.
so
yeah, your
I'll
boss.
let you scream at
Come
her.
on the show.
I'm not screaming. I'm just asking. All right. And favorite key.
You know, I get asked this question a lot, and I say the anywhere key because I would never be late and I could skip flying and all that.
Yes.
But after
Flying is
watching
not
the
fun.
show, I mean, the head key is pretty cool. I could just put so much information in there. And then the
sounds smart.
ghost key, the whole thing with Bodhi flying.
Nah,
Yes.
that's a weapon. You just see what happened to Sam. That was really sad. That broke me.
I don't like ghosts though. My only thing with the ghost key is like I'm not trying to see the dead grandpa.
Oh,
like,
yes.
Yeah.
Chamberlain,
like,
Chamberlain.
I'm not trying to do that
He's so
at
nice.
all. So I'm gonna stick with
I was actually sad we
anywhere
didn't see
key.
him this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you want to see
Anywhere
more?
key.
that's
Any-
yeah. I think
yeah,
anywhere
okay.
key is
Same.
my fave.
And you want to see more of
I
Chamber.
miss Chamberlain.
We do. We
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to see more of
He
him.
just seems like such a cool guy.
You know what I'm interested in as well, and I honestly don't know anything about second season. They brought his ashes back, and they.
Randall's
Yeah,
Asher?
so
Yeah.
They
does
didn't even
that
say
mean
how they
that
did
he-
it. Did they put it back in the
Well,
thing?
does that mean? I guess for Rendell to reappear as a ghost, I guess he would have had to die in the house. But
Sure.
I'm always like, ooh,
Yeah.
is Rendell locked dead? He
Yeah.
is, but
That was one of the times we
Curious.
called CPS on Nina because she literally just picked up her husband and threw him on the floor in front of her kids.
Okay, all right. It was more CVS. All right. So now it's time to move on to our special segment. That is
Yes,
our key
guys.
giveaway.
Ooh.
I'm
I
here
hope you guys are in the
watching.
Oh, there's
comments.
the sound.
That's
You
the
know what that
sound.
means.
You know the secret word.
The secret word.
We're not gonna tell you if you're just coming in. But guys.
is that where you see?
So
it?
remind everybody right now what's happening,
Yeah.
what we're waiting for.
So right now we're trying to decide who's gonna win our 3 special keys.
Are you showing
Can you
them?
tell us what's going on in the chat, Bryant?
No one is actually
No one's
actually
commenting. There's
commenting?
actually been nobody.
Oh, refresh because YouTube
And
sometimes
the sound
when
is
you
over.
when you refresh.
Okay, you got one. You got our first.
Randall Richards,
Ooh,
one
Randall,
winner.
you're a second
Ivan,
first. Oh, we got
congratulations.
Ivan. Congrats.
And we have one more key to give away.
Yeah, one more. Comment the secret word.
And we'll have Laysla announce the last winner.
one is it?
One more person
So
we're
hold
waiting
up the
for.
3 while we're
person?
waiting for that.
Yeah.
So we have a flower.
So we're gonna show
One
you
more, they're
guys what
commenting,
keys
yeah.
we have. Right here we have
They tell
the
me
flower
his name to
key.
say.
That is in I think episode 5 or
Yeah,
6,
Mhm.
and they used to bury Duncan's memories
Right.
in the forest. And then we also have the fire key. So if you're a huge matchstick key fan, this one's for you.
Right.
And
Can you just choose one of these?
lastly,
Oh,
we
my-
have the music box key. So you guys can hang around and see who wins these.
We have
Not
one
only-
more key.
we have
Someone-
one more.
Yeah, we only have 2
One
winners
more.
right now. So
try
somebody,
refreshing again.
somebody
Sometimes chat
call-
will just stop working.
Oh, I see. I just didn't want
Yeah.
to say the wrong name.
Yeah.
Somebody comment dodge.
Dodge.
All right.
Comment
I'll keep
us.
it if no one wants it. Like,
All right. So while we're
Yeah.
doing that, Laysla, what do you have coming up? I know you mentioned you have a movie coming out soon.
Yes, Guest of Honor by Atom McGoyan. He's amazing. And the film is so great and so special and very different. It's about the relationship of this. I play this music teacher who claims to have had, sexual relations with her students, and so she puts herself in jail, and it explores that and her relationship with her father and why she kind of causes self-harm to herself, and it's
that's
deep.
really
Wow. Is that a streaming movie or theaters?
It's theaters.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
So it'll be
awesome.
fun.
And
when
then
should we look out for that? Do you know when it's gonna come out?
You know what? I'm not sure about the dates. I know it was just sold. So I'll follow me on Instagram. I'll keep you
Yes,
posted.
Okay.
We do. Yeah, we love your stuff you post.
yes,
Thank you.
we
All
like
right.
it a lot.
So we have our final winner. So go
Ooh.
ahead and announce.
This person over here?
Yes.
Jonathan, is it Moulton? Jonathan
Jonathan.
Moulton.
Yay!
Congratulations.
Congrats.
So what do those
So,
3 winners need to do?
Those 3 winners have to message me on my Instagram.
Okay, so go ahead and
So
give
my
your Insta.
Instagram is NYAMJANICE. We're also gonna include it in the description of this show. So after we're done, you can go ahead and check that. Send me a DM on Instagram, and yeah, I'm just gonna make sure that you're the real person. So
All right. And
everyone's
remind,
like,
us,
"Where
remind
are
us
we?"
of the 3
And
winners, the 3 people.
It is Randall Richards, Ivan Soto, and Jonathan Moulton.
Yeah, send me a DM, and we'll have these shipped out to you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank
you
you
so
guys.
much.
I can't
So
believe you
rad.
found that picture and know so many random facts about me.
Yes, I have a few more.
Yeah.
No, I really do. Okay, so where can you find us? You can find me on Instagram at Lauren Kling, LORENKLING, and on Tuesday nights for the Schitt's Creek final season, where I've got some big guests coming up on the show.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at NyamJanice, NYAMJNICE. And also I'm on the Briar Patch after show and also the Good Place after show.
Oh.
Good Trouble. You're on Good Trouble with me.
Brian, where can we find you?
Good trouble.
You can find
many
me
good
at
shows.
the Brian Santos on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. You can also find me on the Good Trouble After Show with my girl here, as well as the Katie Keene After Show.
Thank you. And Laysla, how do we spell your name on Instagram so we know how to find you?
It's LAYSLADEO. Laysla D-O.
Thank you very much. All right,
Thank you,
goodbye,
guys.
everybody. We hope we see you
Bye.
for season 2. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.